it's like, yeah, it's 8:42 in the morning. My idea was to do this a little later in the day, but the ideas are like fresh in my mind, so I wanted to go ahead and do this. I know there's probably going to be maybe one person who's going to catch this live stream, so is that going to make vamping a little more difficult? Possibly. But I'm fine being alone with my thoughts this early in the morning. As you can see here, I kind of have a few things set up with my canvas is already set up. I already have my color palette picked. Things I will do preliminarily, like before I go live, just to make sure that I can try to keep these under 2 hours. I might even be able to do 1 hour, is to go ahead and gather my references and everything off screen. But the other thing I'm doing to keep track of time is I'm going to set a 15-minute timer for myself. So I'll have 15 minutes for ideating, thumbnailing, 15 minutes for the actual sketch I'm going to use, 15 minutes for line art. It usually takes me about 8 to 10 minutes depending on how complex the design is. And then anywhere from the last 15 minutes, which that's not going to happen, 15 minutes to color, to, was that an hour and a half, hour and 45 left over if my cap is at 2 hours, so that should be more than enough time to get these done. But now that you kind of have an idea of what the general layout of these streams are going to be, I'm going to go ahead and start my timer for 15 minutes to get the thumbnails out of the way, because like I said, the ideas are fresh and I want to get these out of my head before I lose them. So here we go. So as you can see, this color palette is very monochrome. I kind of let the ideas cook in my head for a little bit, and I want to try to loosen up my style a little bit more. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to get a big brush, and I'm just going to block out some shapes of what I kind of want the silhouette to look like in the end. And then I can take that and make my thumbnails and sketches from that. Let me make sure that I have all of my settings good to go. Yeah, let's do full screen. Is that covering up too much? You know what? Let's see here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause this. This doesn't count for my drawing time. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to get rid of this overlay. Can I not show it? That's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. I'll get rid of that. All right, now we'll go back to full screen. So the idea I had for this character, I had seen a few things floating around on Instagram that just kind of got my mind in a good space to do a color palette like this, just this plain monochrome. And recently there's this one channel or this one page that I followed that did a monthly draw challenge. And one of the submissions was like all shades of white. And so it was just, you know, good to have that as a touchstone of inspiration, if we'll call it that. So initially I had thought of doing a character similar to the one that they had done just to kind of get myself in the right headspace. But the idea morphed, and so now I'm doing... The idea is to do a sort of snow leopard witch character. Yes, I am a cat girl. It's fine. But I wanted to do something that had a lot of movement to it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Did I restart my timer? Not restart, resume. Did I resume my timer? No, I did not. Let's resume that. But yeah, I didn't start with this sketch because I think I know well enough what I want this character to end up looking like, and the blobs are just kind of throwing me off a little bit. This is a really bad sketch, but it's getting me in the right direction at least. Oh, gosh. Okay, hold on. Let me just give me a second. Give me a second, because I can see it up here, and my brain and my hand are fighting today. Okay. Sad thing is I couldn't find any good references for the pose, so I'm flying here. I'm flying free, and I hope this works. I hope I can kind of hit that flow state and just get things going the way I need them to. I had an idea to start with the dress, which is I have this here, but this isn't like this is just kind of a placeholder for what I have in my mind. This is just to help me solidify the silhouette, but I know design wise what I want it to look like. And so okay, I still have 12 minutes to sketch. I'm in a good place. So I can hang out for a little bit and figure out. This is what you're seeing now is what I cut out of the videos that I usually do. I am also recording this on my usual recording software, so I will be posting a condensed version of this stream later. I don't know if we feel like double reposting if I delete the live stream and then upload, or if I keep them both up, whatever. If YouTube has a problem with it, they'll let me know expeditiously. I kind of... Okay. Because I want her face to be kind of down and leering like this. But I still want her to be kind of chibi. So I need to get my proportions a little smaller. She's got too much cheekbone to truly be chibi, and the eyes are a little sharper than I would like them to be. But this is still the sketch phase, so I think as long as I get things where I need them to go. I wanted the brim of her hat to be kind of like I don't know how to describe it. I'm just gonna have to draw it. Yeah, that'll work. Because then I can put this side of her face in shadow a little bit, and then this eye can kind of be like bright yellow. I don't have yellow. Okay, so that effect isn't gonna work. Okay, let's reevaluate. Let's do this one instead. It's going to be a very similar hat style to my frog girl. That was number 8, 7 or 8, way back. Just the big chunky hat that's got a lot of like things. In this case, it's going to have a bunch of lace and pom-poms because she's a snow leopard based character. Do I want to do the ears on the hat, or do I want to do the ears on her? And I also want her to be looking up. So, okay, if this is the ball of the hat, so this is the top of her head. So we're gonna do this. This is a good proportion if I want to do a chibi type character. Got 8 minutes left. I think I'm making good time. So she's gonna be looking up. So the eyes are gonna be up here, a little closer to the brim. So we're not quite gonna see the eyebrows. I don't want her to be angry. I just kind of want her to be like, ew. At the end of 15 minutes, I'm making the rule that I have to work with whatever I have. So if I don't like this, I can't start over. So I'm really trying to end up with something that I can work with. Oh, this angle, I hate drawing in this angle, but it's an interesting angle. So it's like, it's a good one to master because it's a shorthand way to make characters more interesting. Okay, so I kind of, let me shrink this a little bit. I wanted her hands to be kind of like, I'm gonna get the general pose. And then the dress, kind of like this, cape like this, and then she's gonna have kind of like this. I don't want to hide any part of her design because it's a one-off character. I'm not doing a character sheet where I can show multiple parts of the design in like a turnaround or anything like that. Okay, I have 6 minutes. I have 6 minutes. Ah! Do I want to go back to my initial pose? Okay, maybe I should start dress first. So the collar, it's kind of this lacy deal, and then she's got like these big paw. I put them behind her. Oh, okay, hold up. Let's extend that a little bit further this way. But she's not actually a cat. She's a girl who's dressed like a cat. So she has cat-like features, but she's still a human. Okay, controllably here for the collar. It's actually fur collar with lace, this type of lace detail underneath. Fur trimmed cape. Okay, so the hat is going like this. This is the brim. So Body of the hat sits here. Balance it. We're going to have this going back this way. Wrinkles here. Let's do fur trim with lace detail here. Lace detail here. 3 minutes. The hair. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, that's going to cover the cape a little bit, but that's okay. So I need to make sure that I have enough surface area to have enough contrast between these colors and these colors. So the hairstyle is going to be a very simple kind of double ponytail situation. I don't want it to go above her dress. I want it to go behind her dress, but I want her to hold her staff. So her staff is going to go in this hand. It's going to be like this. No arms. For the sleeves, I'll worry about the sleeves once I get to the liner. I've got 1.5 minutes. I have this 1 layer, 2 layers. I need to move her. Yeah, move over just a little bit. And her boots. Gonna be Paul boots. Standing. Okay. I guess because I don't want to cover up the dress, so I'll have her staff here. And I can just go here. Going very PS2 era character style staff here. Okay, there's a tangent there. I don't want that touching there. So this is going to go behind the hat like this. Okay. I'm finally looking at the screen. Oh, time's up. Okay. Oh, no. Cancel. Okay. I'm looking at the resolution and I'm thinking I might need to, because it looks so fuzzy. I'm sorry. The first stream is just gonna have to be kind of fuzzy. Okay, so moving on to the line art. I have 15 minutes to turn this into something a little more solid. So let's go. Let me get my Sino pen. I'm gonna do a dark blue gray ink, just to contrast the yellowy nature of the color palette that I'm working with. I don't know if I need to zoom in that far just yet. Okay. And do I have want to do... I kind of like how crunchy that is because I think I'm going to make the lines an overlay anyway. So to have a little bit of texture will help. Oh, that's too thin. That's too thin. It's getting too thin. I got to go back to my Sino pen. It just does what I need it to do. And yeah, I've got almost 7, so that's fine. A lot of these details might end up not being in the line art. I played around with the idea of maybe just having this be a fully painted character. Do I want to do that? I need to at least solidify the face because I know what I'm doing with everything else, so that can be painted. So I might just do that instead of playing around with this line art. Get the face figured out. So in that case, we'll count it as part of the line art and sketch phase. The DreamWorks character territory. That thing they always do. I just want her to have like big, curious eyes. Like curious but also dangerous. Since she is based on a snow leopard. I will still give her some cat-like pupils. Yeah, that's perfect! Oh, she's so cute! Okay. Sorry, my mic just beat so bad. I'm so sorry to any headphone wearers who are watching this later. In the edit, I'll put a screen warning. Or maybe I'll just cut it out. We'll see. Okay. There we go. Like, she's baby, but she could also, like, really mess you up with her level 15 blizzard spell or something. I guess overall I'm kind of going for like a Final Fantasy character vibe. I don't know. Okay. So now everything is going to have its own layer. Is there anything? That's the reference layer. So I need to name that so I don't get rid of it. And I'm going to pick a color that is slightly darker than this one so that I can just build on top of it with the colors that I actually do need to use. So I'm going to go just a little bit darker. I need a bigger brush than that. This. It's not quite the right shape. Okay, so the cuff goes like this and kind of flops over. God, and these are actually boots. So what I'm gonna do is going to cut a little divot here so that I can draw that boot detail in. And then it's gonna go like this, and then the paw sits on top like this and goes like this. Okay. Yeah, because I wanted to have like big chunky shoes and big chunky gloves so I can have a lot of surface area to do the snow leopard rosette detail. Okay, got this. Little fist. A big fist. Go smooth. Just gonna block everything out. The dress, I am going to block that out in this color. So we've got lace. Oh yeah, that's a, I didn't realize it was that much lighter. I mean, it's fine. It makes things easier to differentiate. And you know, some people would just use a layer mask. I am not some people. This is how I work. Got the shape of the dress. It's kind of billowing out this way. And it's gonna go back like this. And have a little bit of ruffle detail on the bottom. And then there's 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer. If I can get something like this done in 2 hours, I will be impressed with myself, because usually if I'm doing like a fully painted thing, it takes a little bit longer. But I don't know, we'll see. This. No, that wouldn't make sense. I can do that with what I have here. So for the first layer, I want it to be this triangle design to match the collar and the brim of the hat. And I will fill in with a pencil brush instead of a paintbrush so it doesn't blur over itself. And this layer was just going to be a more traditional. Use that for the shadow, because the color I'm using now is technically the darkest color that I have in my color palette to use. So which means her skin is going to be this color. This impossibly pale moe child. I need to do this with a more solid brush, because the gouache brush As much as I love how it blends, I don't need it to do that right now. I need it to be solid. But now I can go back to blending. And what I might do once everything's painted over, I might still go back and outline some things, because I don't think I'm gonna have time to. I don't have the skill set to fully paint this in 2 hours. I don't think. 4 hours maybe. Staff the middle color. And this way I can just draw over what needs to be more detailed and just paint over what can be a little more ambiguous. So far it's not bad. This, I know I want this to be more fur-like on top and then have more of the lace triangle underneath. So that I might end up having to draw in a little bit. But I like the way this looks. It looks very fluffy, very snowy, and that's kind of where I'm going with that. Do I want to do fur on the bottom of her dress instead of the lace layers? I think that would make more sense with this character. So I'm gonna do that. Make it a little more, whoops, how did that happen? Grit in there. So it's not quite the same color as this over here. Actually, when I'm working with this, do that. Carve that out a little bit. Get some of this going. I guess this is like ashwood. I was thinking at first I would make it like a white steel, but that would get very cold to hold in the environment that, in my mind, she would occupy. So it makes more sense for this to be a wooden staff than a metal staff. All right, 30 minutes in. Maybe I should have put the timer back up. But the timer was for liner, and I'm not really doing liner with this one. I'm just trying to loosen up. My style is so rigid, and I'm afraid that if I continue with the style that I'm in, I won't be able to grow artistically. So I've been very intentional about looking at, like, really studying other people's art and art styles to figure out how, because like my characters do have a lot of personality, but sometimes they do still feel very stiff. Oh, I do have a timer on. Okay, we're gonna dismiss it. We're gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna drink some water. Anyway, my characters still have personality, but sometimes they're a little stiff. And so I figured if I could get more comfortable just blocking out big shapes and drawing from that, I had this idea that I would just do a blob and try to create the character from that, but because the idea for this one was so strong, I might just end up doing it for the next one. I'll have to look back at what tomorrow's color palette is, but I knew I had to have a strong idea for this color palette because I'm only working with like five colors that are five or six, five that are very close together, and then I couldn't just kind of go into this willy-nilly. I'm not that strong of an artist that I can do that yet. So let's see. Yeah, maybe next time. Well, next time being tomorrow. Face. This will be the darkest color that I make the skin. Go ahead and color in her face and neck. She's so pale. Neck, shoulders. I will need some line art to differentiate those shapes. No, I don't like that. We're just gonna do, I like having just the face. So I'm just gonna have to figure out, because these are almost the same color. I need this to block that. So I got this, the neck and shoulders. And then go back to my gouache. I guess this is oil and the oil brush. It has a slight blend to it. Oh, that's too dark. That's too dark. Where's my color palette? It's so far away. I might need to move that closer. All right. So now I need to differentiate the lace from the fluff. So I need this color. I need my oil brush. Or should I use gouache? How does that? That's not doing enough. I need it to be oil. I can't see. Wait a minute. Just raise my stool a little bit. Okay. That's better. So this. So I'm currently working with this. So I need the darkest one to make the little puffy sections. Okay, that's a nice fluffy cottony texture. So the hair, I gotta do the back of the collar, hold up. Which is ultimately the same color. Fill this in, and then I can work on that. Oh, nope, hold up. Where's the gap? The hat, really? Come on, clip. You're smarter than that. Okay, is there any gaps here? Nope, I think this is solid, so I can fill that in. Messed up my lace just a little bit, but I can paint back over that. Okay, put this, fluff that back up. So the hair, go ahead and fill in that hat. That's gonna be, this is the darkest color. Okay, that's what I need to do. Because the hat and the skin are gonna be very close in color. So I need to separate this area here before I do anything with the hat. And then I can go ahead and color this in too. Oh, well, that's fine. I'm not gonna let it bother me. There's a little speck right here left over from the line art. I'm just gonna ignore it. And this band is gonna be the darkest color. We've got some lace detail that needs to be cut out from the hat. I'm aware this is probably not the most captivating live stream as far as art streams go. A, because I don't have an audience to interact with at the moment, and B, like this really is basically just a live behind the scenes look at what the typical color palette challenge videos, like what happens between the cut and edited footage. And I'm trying to follow the 7-second rule, where if you're silent for 7 seconds, or if you have like 7 seconds of dead air, that's when you're most likely going to lose audience captivity. But also, sometimes I really just need to concentrate, and so I will be quiet. And sometimes I'm even holding my breath just to get the perfect line. So forgive me if I'm not super engaging. I'm still getting used to doing anything like this. I'm much more comfortable just being off screen. But I wanted to kind of, this is the fastest way that I could do the color palette challenge for November. And because if I tried to do a daily draw that was pre-recorded, I would still have to cut and edit the footage, and I think that would take me more time than I want to take on this, because I'm happy that I'm back in the color palette challenge. October was kind of hit or miss with the drawing prompts. My best performing video from that series was the one where I drew and told horror stories, a la Lavender Town's Creepy Drosta. And so the ones that were more tutorial heavy didn't perform as well, which I'm not surprised. But I think next year, I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween next year. I think I am going to move away from doing tutorials just because I've kind of hit somewhat of a wall with what I feel comfortable saying that I have knowledge in, or shareable information in. I'm at a point where I need to take a step back and start studying again. And then once I hit a point where I feel comfortable, like where I feel like I've learned enough, then maybe I'll come back and do some more tutorials to be like, hey, here's what I learned. Here's how I can translate this into beginner-friendly steps so you don't have to struggle the way that I did to get to this point. Anyway. This is the off color palette. I think I'm going to use it anyway because I need a black. The darkest color I have isn't black, it's gray. This is white, this is gray. So I need a black. I need this color. So I'm just going to add this. It's fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, next time I stream, I'm gonna have to do this in full HD because it looks so crunchy. I'm so sorry to anyone who's watching this. Back to my oil brush. Get that blended out. All right, I need to lower the tolerance. There we go. So for those of you who are either new to digital art or coming into programs that have more flexibility with its modding or modability, tolerance is basically color detection. So when I say I need to lower the tolerance, I need to lower the range of pixels that Clip will think is the color that I'm trying to fill in or detect. So when I'm lowering the tolerance for the fill space, as you saw, it went all over the place because these colors are so close together, with the tolerance being 10. If it's 10 pixels outside of the range that I'm trying to detect, that's what it will fill. With the tolerance of 0, it will only fit in pixels that match that specific color. So that's tolerance. And then, of course, range is how far outside of that tolerance it will also fill. But it's a different type of detection. Tolerance is a color detection, range is a space detection. I don't know that I like that. The idea was to make them beads on the end of her hair. I think I like the idea of maybe changing it to puffballs or snowballs, just so I have, again, more areas to add the rosette. Because the beads are fine. Actually, I don't know. I kind of like the glassy. It's kind of like icy. Maybe I'll leave it alone. I'll leave that alone until the end of the drawing, and then if I change my mind, I can change it at the end. Yeah, that's cute. It's cute. And it's a nice texture break from all of the soft surfaces that I've produced so far. Like, you can see that this is a very, like, soft, heavy fabric, and then the hair and the dress and everything. Oh, let's see. Let me go ahead and do this fur trim. We're working in the round a little bit. So let's do pointillism, because that'll give us a nice big crunchy texture without having to do too much. I can go back over it here. Yeah, that's good. And add a little bit in between. And then I'll go back over with an oil brush and blend that in. Let's do this one with the mid-tone. Yeah, I like how it just looks fluffy and folded in on itself. And I'll probably end up using the black for the rosettes, because I was going to use the darkest white, but I don't know if that's going to be dark enough. Oh, actually, that's quite nice. So we'll just do that then. So the same pattern is going to go on the top of her boots. Well, actually, this is going to be solid white, and then the feet are going to be patterned this way. And then her gauntlets are going to be patterned. And then this, I need a smaller brush. Let's do this brush, because that way I can keep it small and light. I don't have to put a ton of pressure on my hand. And I could keep it subtle and blend it in a little bit as I go, because I want it to look natural but still noticeable. Yeah, it's coming together. It's coming together. I'm so excited. I didn't think I was going to be able to like do this with the amount of time that I had. It's been almost an hour, so I have 1 more hour to finish. I think I need to work on the dress a little bit more right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to make sure that I have the folds of the dress noticeable. And that's another thing I'm trying to do. I just looked over and realized that yes, this is all on the same layer. I'm trying to mentally treat my digital canvases as like hard physical canvases, because of course when you're working with like just one flat plane, you can't do as much, and so you make different decisions, and layer styles can sometimes be a crutch. And I would like that to not be the case. So this month, in addition to trying to loosen up my style, I'm also trying to think about my canvas differently and treat it more like a traditional canvas, and think about, okay, if I was painting this with actual paint, and I know there's a lot of digital artists that already think this way, and I'm behind the curve on that. Surprise, surprise. But to just kind of hone back into my fundamentals and the things I learned when I was in school, as far as treating light and shading and understanding how to layer things to make the textures pop, and yeah, just stuff like this. Kind of freeing myself up to let people's brains do some of the heavy lifting for me, because your brain will automatically fill in gaps. And so I want to free up my art to be a little more interpretive. Not like, not so abstract that it's like, oh, what is this? But like, I don't need to worry about every little detail. But that has been a signature of my style for so long. I'm not sure I know how to break out of that. And it may just be something that I need to reinterpret instead of throw out altogether. I actually quite like that. I was going to make it like actual. No, I'll still draw over it and make it lace like what I have up here, but I really like the shape of that. Of course, I'm doing this without a reference. I was gathering references before the stream, but I was like, I'm spending too much time looking at references. I'm losing my initial idea. I need to just go. I need to just get my idea out there. Yeah, this is fine. This is like the hinting of lace. So even if it's not accurate, you still get the idea that this is a lace detail. And that's what I'm trying to get better about, is just breaking down things to their base components. And then if I want to spend more time adding more detail, I can do that. I don't really have a light source for this one, I don't think. I think it's just kind of where the folds are. But yeah, so far. And then I think I am going to go ahead and make this an overlay. Ooh. Okay. Well, I can still work with that. I will just need to do a little bit of this. I don't have white on yet. So her cheeks, top of the nose, the lips, and then this cheek. Yeah, I need to blend that in better. I want to color her eyes so bad. I want to make them like blue or yellow or even red, but I don't have. I've already added one color to the palette, and technically it's not outside of the range of the colors I can work with, but I'll have to make her eyes white. That's the only thing I can do and stay within the range of the colors that I've been given. Which seems to be okay. But now she looks like a doll, and I don't want her to look like a doll. I want her to have flesh and blood. Yeah, this is fine. I have to give her just a little bit of pink so she has a little bit of blood in her cheeks. Just like the softest shade of baby pink. Oh my gosh, that's so muddy. There we go. Just a little bit. Perfect. No pun intended. A little bit here on the shadow. Yes. Excellent, excellent. Her mouth is so small. Do I wanna give her lip gloss? Nah, she doesn't need it. Let's move on to the boots. Sure, why not? And then I can work on the hands. Let's go back to pointillism brush, medium. Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. I need to start using this brush for my clouds. I downloaded so many brushes trying to figure out how to recreate the clouds that I used to make in GIMP in Clip, because what I would do is I would take the rectangle brush and set it to jitter, and that would create this nice crunchy, organic cloud texture that I could then blend out and soften where I needed to and leave it crunchy where it needed to stay crunchy. I have these map brushes that I've been using. Where did I put them? Yeah, these ones here. And sometimes I'll use these for like cloud texture and whatever, because it kind of does the same thing. It just doesn't have the same charm, but you wouldn't know the difference. So now I have that. Actually, you know what? Let me try it on these boots here. See what that's doing for me. Is that the white? I am using... Is it? Oh! Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's good. And only around the edge because there's a little bit of shadow in the dip here, blah, blah, blah. And then I can blend that out with the gouache. Let's do dry gouache so it's got some texture. Nice. Very nice. And you see I'm not doing all of the edges, just some of the edges so that there's a variation in texture. Okay, so we've got that. Nice chunky fuzzy boots. I'm going to cut that off a little bit. Okay. And the toes, here's what we'll do with that. Medium tone, oil brush. Black, it's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Not getting enough variation. 2, 3, 4. Blend that out. Ah, her cape. I forgot the cape. And then there's actually a little bit of the dress that's over here. So this needs to come up here. Switch the brush. Extend the rosettes. What did I use for that? For that one, I did use oil paint. The one's down here. Now I can start adding in the highlights because the dress is still very cream colored. Oh, let's see. And let's do light ink. because I like the texture on that, and I have enough control with that brush that it won't get outrageous. What should I put on the belt? Yeah, let's do this. And then add a little bit of shell back in there. So it looks kind of like a little snowball, like a fluffy little something or other. Just kind of break that up. And maybe I'll do some little crystals. So we'll do this. And then one here. And then add in the highlights. Well, a bit of dark in the center. And then highlight on top. Yeah. Adding a little bit of that. Yeah, that is necessary. Got to start breaking up the shapes a little more diligently. This will also add my light source, which I still haven't decided, so I guess it'll be coming from this direction. Do a little highlight here. The funny thing is, it looks so much worse in low res because it's, I don't know. If I can make it look good in low res, then mission accomplished. It's easy to make things look better in high res, but when things get compressed and the nuances get scrunched down, that's kind of where you can pick up what needs to be refined a little bit more. Yeah, that's so cute. Let me refine this a little bit, because I like the puff of it, but I like when it's noticeably soft. It actually kind of looks more like a rabbit, but cats and rabbits have very similar scrunched up faces. There. Still need to do the cape. I think I'm going to do another little snowball over here. Or just something fluffy. Oh, let's see. Let's take the flat brush, just a little smaller. This is empty then. This doesn't. So this is hair. That's what this is. I need to fill that in. And then this will be cape. I think it's all going to be relatively soft. I'm going to use the pointillism to block it out. Keep a little bit of that. We're going to blend that in just around the edges here. Oh, that looks bad. Okay. You know what? No, I'm going to fix it by doing this. Right up to the edge. I use a little bit of this black right here. Pointillism, white cuff, make that a little bit bigger, not that big. 40 is fine. It's 50, it's 50. 50 is fine. Whatever I have on right now is fine. So use that. And then even though these white spaces are right next to each other, you can still tell that this is fur and this is glass, but I will add just a little bit right here just to break that up. I really like the way that looks. I like the way that behaves. Do a little bit of shadow in here, and then we're going to add some white back on top of it just to break that up a little bit. Hour 19, doing pretty good. I think I'm going to leave the hat mostly ivory, but add just a little bit of the soft white. So with that, I'm going to do my paint and apply. Do just a little bit of that. And then up here, because it's not really a heavy canvas. It's not a velvet. It's just a really nice thick material that the hat is made out of. Let's take some of this. This still needs lace. I am going to do this particular lace detail on a separate layer because I don't want to mess up the color underneath. And the ones on the back are going to be gray. Oh, I don't need to cover her face. As a matter of fact, I need to fix the brim because it went down too low. No, this is fine. Yeah. Go back to the gloves, and then I can work on the cape. I haven't given up on the boots, but I need to finish. I don't need to finish an area before I move to another area. I'm trying to paint in the round where you kind of work on it all together, but because this is such a segmented design, it's kind of hard to do that. Amazing. Amazing. So she's going like this. Cheese and crackers. Okay. Fix that. And block out. Okay, so hand is going down. Knuckle, knuckle. There we go. So this is supposed to be soft, but not like poof. It's like a smooth down fur. So I'm going to try out the dry gouache and see how I like that. And I think I need to go down a tone. I can go to the mid-tone because I'm using the darkest colors I have. So even using just the mid-tone will be enough. And then I can just use highlight on the knuckles. Yeah, this knuckle is too big. So I'm gonna go back in and straighten that out. Ooh, I like the way those textures are interacting. I like that a lot. Okay, so this can come down just a little bit. I need to fluff this back out. So I can keep one side of it. Yeah, so now it looks like a big fluffy, puffy paw situation. And I'm actually to go up a little bit with that. Yep, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. And then I need to highlight the knuckles. I don't know that I need white because the fur isn't. Let's use a little bit of this and a little bit of a bit of paint and apply to blend that back end. But before I do that, I want to shade this knuckle. I need to go darker. This will be good. Here. It's getting a little muddy, so I need to add some black. I'll use my gouache at a 10 point. And then I need to blend out this up here. Oh, no, that is the wrong color. That's better. And now I can add the rosettes. I think I need just a little... Oh boy, just a little smidgen of black right in here. Do I have her holding something? Like, other than her cane, of course. Actually, I'm going to do something with that real quick, too. I still haven't drawn her cape. What am I sitting at? I'm sitting at an hour and a half. Okay, so I have 30 minutes. Stop messing around. Finish these gloves. Like, for real, for real. Let's do light ink. Where's my black? I don't think snow leopards have the rosettes all the way up to their paws. I think their paws are actually solid white, like a whitish gray, but this is for aesthetics, so deal with it. Oh, that's too close. That's too close. Let's do here. Yeah, so now there's just enough leopard print to kind of break everything up. Like all of the solid pieces. So we've got the collar, the gloves, the boots. The boots I might actually just leave solid white. So let's do... Just to show they're still a little fuzzy. Got the heels here. I need my black for that. And then I'll fuzz that out. need to accentuate the back knuckle, the bends in the shoe. Just give it a little, just something to break that up. You know, at least even if I am being quiet, there's still music. And I know there's some of you who watch my videos in the background. So I imagine this would be a nice accompaniment to whatever you're working on today. And I'm really just kind of focusing in. I guess if you can see this here, this would actually, you would be able to see this underneath. So like right here. And then this would come over the lip of the sole, kind of like that. I'm just gonna move her up. Just delete. Okay, cool. Still haven't finished. Okay, we finished the gloves. We finished the boots. I think the boots are, I'm not gonna say good enough because I actually like the way the boots look. I like the blend of fluffy texture, but the roughness of the sole of the shoe kind of give it more of a sketchy quality. That's something that I've seen in a lot of the accounts that I really like, is that there are some parts that are really rendered out, but there's enough sketchiness to it where it still kind of has, that's where some of the charm is that not everything is so polished that it's like, you know, they focus on the important parts and the rest of it they kind of leave up for us to figure out. Like, okay, you get the idea that like this is a shoe or this is a piece of wood or what have you. Yeah, there we go. The cape. I think I am going to do the cape on a secondary layer. I was trying to do everything all together on one layer, but I would just be more comfortable doing it this way instead. And then I think I'll actually leave that black and maybe do a little bit of highlight here, but the trim is going to be the same fur trim that's on her dress. And so that'll be enough contrast between all of this gray. And okay, so I'm going to start with the gray and then I'll add white on top of it. Oh no. Yeah, I'm on the right layer now. Crisis averted. Forgetting I'm on 2 different layers. Here's what I'm gonna do, because now that I don't want to do that yet. I can't combine the layers just yet. This kind of looks like basmati rice. I know that's an oddly specific comparison to make, but I just made curry the other night and the basmati rice, like, I don't know. It's ignore that. I'm gonna cut it out of the final rework. It just really does. It's amusing to me. Okay. That's not the white, that's the yellow white. There we go. on the edges. Well, what is this? Okay, that needs to go back to this then, because there's not enough contrast there. No! No! Oh, no! Why? Every time. Well, obviously not every time, but it's. Ooh, I'm getting to the end of my brain juices. Okay. Where's the middle color? I need to blend that back in. And then I'm going to leave that white, or do I want to add the leopard print to it? I think I'm going to do a little bit of leopard print in the rim of her hat, and maybe just on the edges. Just see what that looks like. And I'm going to use, yeah, with this color, the darkest gray that I have. So that is a softer, it's not quite as harsh as the black that I picked. Yep, I think that looks good just on the edges like that. And then I'll do a little bit. Oop, it's the same color. Okay. So for that one, should I make them white? I'll just do it in black. I don't need to make it complicated. Because like the hat isn't really the star of the show. It's there. It's a co-star, but it's not like. So if I made the spots on the hat white, it would be kind of like, well, why is this different? What's so important about the hat? And it's not. It would have just been a poor design choice. Need a little bit of differentiation here. Okay. What happens if I do this? Oh dear, no. I'm going to make a copy of this first. I'm going to merge these together. I'm going to make a copy of this. And then I'm going to see what happens if I do this. Okay, so there's not... Oh, why did that change it to gray? What the heck? So sometimes I'll see where lines end up, so that if I'm doing a painting, it'll auto outline, and it looks like there's not enough to do like an effective version of that. So, but that looks good. If I do it as an overlay, it adds just a little bit. I'll have to do it as a Yeah, I notice it. It's barely noticeable, but I think it just makes things look a little more cohesive. So what happens if I... Okay, cool. It held. Sometimes the layers, if you have a different layer style, sometimes they get a little wonky when you smush them down. I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't need that anymore. I need to differentiate between the hat and the staff right here. So I'm gonna I'll just use black. It's this color. And then the hair, I need to add some more white to the hair. Let's get rid of the sketch layer because I have everything I need. So I thought I did. What happened? No. Okay. Is it finished? Have I missed anything? I'm speaking to the void. I'm speaking to myself right now. What are we clocking at? A minute 40 or minute 45, an hour 45. You know what? I think I can confidently call this finished. I did it. I did it. I actually did it. Wow. Okay, so that is the end of the first stream for the daily color palette challenge for November. Here she is. So yeah, like I said, I will be cutting this down into its own sort of sped up video with I might do additional voiceover just in the parts where I was quiet, or I might just cut those parts out altogether, speed it up, add music over it like I usually do. Let me save before I get too ahead of myself, but wow. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be tomorrow. Will be tomorrow morning because I am heading over to a friend's house to help her with some stuff around the house tomorrow. So it will be in the morning again. But yeah, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Have a weird day. Let's see. Exit. Where's the exit? Oh, shoot. Now wait just a daggone minute. There we go.